What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tarek. I am just doing something to kind of wrap up my sports week. I've been debating about doing a stream on my own. I'm always on with Shades of Blue. Those are my show bros. They will always be my show bros. But also thinking about things to just do a little different and maybe do something on my own. And so I am here with this first instance. And really, this is just a throw together because I've already talked all these things out already. I've been on a stream with LB earlier today for about 2 hours, over 2 hours, almost two and a half. So I really don't have a whole lot to say. I'm really doing this just to build the muscle, to build the habit of getting on here, talking sports, talking whatever I want to talk about, and getting used to doing that. So this is going to be short. It's not going to take a lot of time. It's really just, like I said, it's really just about building the muscle and learning how to do this in some respects kind of on my own. So we will see how it goes. But you never know. Anyway, what am I going to do here? I'm going to kind of wrap up the sports week, how things have gone over the course of the week. Particularly paying attention to teams that I support, of course, Manchester City, my favorite soccer team, football team, whatever vernacular verbiage you want to use. Look, I'm an American, right? So I'm going to drop soccer on here occasionally because that's what people that I know personally, that's probably how they refer to it. Because when we talk football, usually we're talking NCAA or NFL. Obviously, when I'm talking to people from England, or if I'm on a stream or on a show that's focused on footy, then I'm gonna call it football. But you might see me drop one or both interchangeably. Charge it to me just trying to make sure that everybody understands what it is I'm talking to. So we're gonna talk Man City. We're gonna talk Premier League. We're gonna talk a little bit of all those things, but then we'll talk some sports that may be more quote unquote American or US centric. So NCAA football. I will always want to talk about my University of Miami Hurricanes. Win, lose, or draw, I'm always going to support. I'm always going to have their back. Much like I support Man City, I support University of Miami Hurricanes football, and so we'll talk that, and then we'll just go from there. So that being said, let's do it. And again, like I said, don't judge this first stream. This is really, I'm doing it late at night. I'm about to go to bed. Really just like I said, really just trying to understand how this flows. For those that are on streams or go on and do streams with other folks or whatever, um, I'm not using StreamYard. Most people use StreamYard. I'm using something different. I'm using a service called Restream. Um, so yeah, we will see how it works. It's not something that I'm as familiar with because I just don't use it as much, but we will make it do what it do. All right. So first thing, let's talk. Of course, this is for those of you that have seen me or somewhat familiar with me. You probably know me from talking Premier League, talking Man City, um, Shades of Blue, LB, Martin, all those different streamers that I'm on with. Let's start. Let's start with Manchester City and the Premier League. So thankfully, City got a win this weekend. Kept a clean sheet. Got a 2-0 2-0 victory over Everton. Holland got two goals, got both goals, got the brace. Quite honestly, Holland should have had five. Let's just be honest. He should have had five. He should have put three. He had three chances to get the hat trick. All of what I would say are um, big chances, not like half chances. He had big chances to put that third goal on the board, but wasn't able to do it. He pressed really hard to get it. Wasn't able to make it happen. So we ended up with the 2-0 victory in this win. Assist for Nico O'Reilly, assist for Savio, who has been under increasing fire because look, Dude we could have got 70 million for Dude, right? 70 million pounds for Dude. At least that's the allegedly that's the talk. But City decided that he was too good. His upside is too high to sell supposedly at any cost. Now, we all know everybody has a price tag. I'm sure there is a price tag they would have sold him for, but 70 was not it. So we've kept him, and because of that, he's had a little bit of a target on his back this season. And of course, during that time when he was being looked at it by Tottenham, um, he was hurt. Whether you believe that or not, he was hurt, was not available to play. So there's just a lot of conversation around him, and so he's got to come back strong. He was able to get an assist in this match, make the kind of just a little short little pass to Holland for the goal. So kudos to him. The other assist went to Nico O'Reilly. Again, young kid who is effectively playing out of position, even though I hope that this will encourage him to make this his full-time position because I think he's doing better there than he has playing in midfield, quite honestly. So we'll see if he actually decides that, he wants to fully embrace being a left back. But we do have Ike Nori coming back, so maybe he decides that he'll get more chances in midfield. I don't know if that happens or not, but he fully deserves to be our starting left back. He has proven that over and over. I have no doubts about him playing until or even when Ait Nori returns. So we will see. Regardless, assist for Nico O'Reilly, assist for Savio. Um, I will say that both of those assists were set up uh, by Phil Foden. Hockey has the concept of a hockey assist or a pre-assist, basically the assist to the assister. And so Phil Foden made the play or made the pass to both Nico O'Reilly and to Savio that they then turned around and passed to Holland for the goal. He does that. The concept of a pre-assist doesn't exist in football, but if it did, he would have picked up two of those. Either way, I think it shows how impactful he has been in this game and in this season, and long may it continue. Another thing to point out about this match, and then I'll move off of it just because, again, it was 2 days ago and I've already talked about all this, but just the return of Rayan Cherki. Cherki looked really good in my opinion. Again, he didn't get a lot of minutes, but he did get off the bench. He's been hurt. He did get off the bench. He looked really good. He's very slick, very creative. A lot of people talk about a techie baller. He's very techie, got a lot of skill, and he put a ball on a free kick, a quick free kick that he took. Um, I don't even think it's fair to say that he saw Holland running. I think he played the ball into the channel, into the space, a long through ball that then Holland was able to run on to, and should have had the goal. Right? Should have got a third. Should have got his third goal. I think it's more fair to say that he started the run for Holland as opposed to Holland making the run and then Turkey finding him. He created it. He pushed it. He forced it. He put the ball out there and told Holland to go get it. And it was really good to see. Again, his slick interchanges, the 1-2s, the flicks and tricks, all of that. He is super exciting and really just fun to watch. Um, you talk about, and I said this earlier, you talk about um Brazil, and they talk the concept of Jogo Bonita, the beautiful game. And I feel like his creativity, the fun, the joy, the really truly that street baller mentality. He's like watching him is like watching and one mixtape video back in the 90s or 2000s, whenever it was. I don't even remember. I was old, but I am old. I was young then. But just the pizzazz, the joy, the fun, the creativity. He has all of that in his game. And so seeing him continue to get minutes, play with Foden in place of Foden in that 10, maybe out on the right wing, either way, uh, he's a super exciting player. And I look forward to seeing what he does over the course of the rest of the season. I'll just keep it with today. Liverpool lost. Big ups to Man United, and I don't say that lightly because I do not like Man United, right? So it takes a lot for me to give them props. But I'm gonna give them props today. On Shades of Blue, we do on our normal recordings, we do shock, awe, and applause. I'm gonna give them some applause because they shocked me, um, and they beat Liverpool 2-1, which is Liverpool's third straight Premier League loss, and fourth straight loss in all competitions. They are on a streak that is very similar to the streak that we went on last season. And it's about this same time in the season, maybe a couple weeks sooner than ours was, but um, we know how impactful that was on our season. It basically derailed it. We had to move quickly in the winter break to try to recover. We had lost Roger. There were a lot of things that fed into the situation that we were in. But regardless, we were on a losing streak. I think we had lost five straight, and then we got a draw or something like that. So in all competitions, so it was not a good place to be. It completely derailed our season. We were able to get it back on track, ended up in third place. But if Liverpool is not careful, if they are not careful, they will end up in the exact same boat that we were last season. And I'm praying for it. I'm praying for their downfall. Not really praying because, whatever, but I do hope for their downfall. I hope they fall apart. There was just a whole lot of kudos given to them last season when their manager came in. He was able to win the league his first season, and I think they got the big hit. Not only did they win the league, they went out. They got Florian Wirtz. They got Isak. They dropped crazy money. In addition to those players, they brought in Frimpong and Kirkez and others. The reality is it has not worked. Verts and Isak, the big 100 million plus pound signings, neither of them have really truly hit the ground running. I think Isak has scored a goal or two, but quite honestly, they were better, in my opinion. They were better with Hugo Ikitike, who they signed first, than they were with Isak. And I think to a certain extent, there's a little bit of um, I'm going to say pompousness that kind of bit them in the butt. They wanted Isak. Newcastle wasn't playing ball with him the way that they thought they should. So they thought they would force their hand by saying, well, we will go buy your next target, which was Hugo Ikitike, somebody that could have come in and replaced Florian Wirtz. Excuse me, replaced Alexander Isak. Liverpool decided we're going to play hardball. And then they went out and bought Hugo Ikitike, and who has been a revelation. He's been really good. But then by doing that, you now had someone in the place that Isak was coming into. And quite honestly, Ekatike was better or has been better, at least to this point. So now you're disrupting what was already going on. There's a lot of expectations on Isak and on Vertz's shoulders. That doesn't mean they won't live up to it, doesn't mean they won't figure it out. But at this early point in the season, it has not gone well for them. I think for Florian Wirtz, I think it's double O. People are like double O 10, bin 10, whatever, right? So it's small margins between goals, no goals, assists, no assists. Those are small margins, but he hasn't been able to get over the line. And the longer that goes on, the bigger the pressure on his shoulders is going to be. The more pressure he's going to feel, the more pressure he feels, the more he's going to press, the more he's going to try to do things that he doesn't really do, that are outside of his comfort zone, and it's going to cost him even more pain. So we will see. But I am very, very hopeful that they finish or they continue, excuse me, they continue to struggle um, as far as Liverpool is concerned. City finished the weekend in second. Um, I think coming into it, they were like in fifth. I had to go back and look to see what we were in before. But Liverpool losing, Tottenham losing today. Both of those were ahead of us, or could have been ahead of us had they won. They lost, so then we continued to move up. So the only person in front of us is Arsenal, who have a 3-point lead on us at the moment. But We are here, and as long as we are close and within touching distance, everybody else should be nervous. Everybody should be scared, Arsenal included, because we have done this. We have a track record. We You can go check the stats, check our track record. We've got a proven history of coming back and performing down the stretch, taking over leads, snatching Premier League, snatching trophies out of the hands of people who thought they held it. So Arsenal and everybody else better be careful, because if we were written off at the beginning of the season because of what we did last season. People thought it was over, thought we were done. Be careful. All I'm gonna say is be careful, because if we are close, and right now we are, we know how to get it done, and I think we'll do that. So, big ups to Man City. Only other thing, I asked LB about this, Roberto Mancini. I saw that he was in contention, or he at least said that he had been having conversations with other people and thought that he might be in contention for the United job should that job come open. Ruben Amorim got their win today. He and Man United, so maybe that staves off any talk of canning him and firing him and bringing somebody else in. I also saw him linked to the Nottingham Forest job. I don't know if he would even want that job, but now I'm seeing Sean Dyche linked with that one. But Roberto Mancini, former City manager, won the FA Cup, won the first Premier League for Man City. In my conversation with LB, he talked about how felt like he was done a little wrong when he got let go, because he didn't get let go because of poor performance on the pitch. It was more so just the holistic nature of what City was trying to do or has built, and maybe him just not being a good fit for all that. So I just wondered, with LB, if he were to take that job, would that change how you as a City fan felt about him? Because again, he's an icon in City history as far as a manager is concerned. Um, so I don't think it will change. It's been quite a few years since he was our manager, but it would hurt to see him line up for Man United. So hopefully that does not happen. I think we will end. Oh, the last thing I wanted to just say was 115. Right, we have heard every international break for probably the last year or two, that the decision is going to drop any. It's going to drop every single international break. We heard it about this past international break that we just came through. It did not happen. Now the thought is that we will get a decision uh, in the November international break. Again, don't know if that'll happen or not. I'm one of those people that I'll believe it when I see it, but I am excited to just put it behind us. And my hope, my expectation is that the club will be found not guilty of all the big charges, right? Maybe the lack of cooperation with the Premier League investigation and all that. Sure, there'll probably be a fine there, but again, I don't look at that as a big charge. I'm talking the fraud and all the things that we've been accused of, paying players and coaches off books, and all of the cheating accusations that have come Man City's way. I am expecting those things to um, come to an end hopefully soon. So we will see what happens with that. All right, let's shift gears, because I've already been here 22 minutes, and that's just a sign that I could just talk for days with no problem, because I really wasn't trying to be here long. Let's shift gears really quickly, and let's just talk about NCAA football. If you don't already know, I am a big fan of the University of Miami Hurricanes. My Hurricanes went into this weekend in second place, or the second ranked second in the AP poll. We played on Friday night against a Louisville team that is a good team. No knock in Louisville. Louisville's a good team. I went to the Louisville game last year when it was in Louisville. I drove down, took the family. I actually posted those pictures on Instagram. I think again this year because it was like, oh, I went there last year. Hopefully they can do it again this year, even though it'll be down at Hard Rock. Unfortunately, Louisville did not go along with my plans. They made life difficult for us. Jumped out really early to a two touchdown lead, 14 to nothing. They came out with a plan. They were moving quickly, getting the ball out quickly, kind of nullifying our defensive pressure from our defensive front. A lot of pressure on the quarterback, all the things that we do, the run game. They came out with a plan and they were executing it early. But after that initial 14-0, see, switching between American football, world football, or soccer throws me off because I almost said 14-0. Jumping out 14-0. Uh, but then we kind of settled down defensively. Unfortunately, the offense never really got going. I'm not going to kill Carson Beck. I was really hot uh, immediately after the game. I was very hot, quite honestly. He threw 5 interceptions, and I know the stats only say he threw 4, but that man put the ball in the other team's hand 5 times. The refs gave it one time. They gave it back to us and said, "Y'all can keep it. Y'all go again." But he gave it to them 5 times. We had an opportunity, even though we had been down 14-0. We brought it back. It was 24-21. We have the ball. We are well within field goal range. All we have to do is just hold on to the ball, kick the field goal, and then we at least play for overtime. If we get a chance to score a touchdown and we win it, great. But what you cannot do in that situation is you cannot turn the ball over, and you cannot get dropped out of field goal range because you took a sack or something like that. Unfortunately, threw the interception to end the game, but part of that is because we had no real run game to know. Again, like I said, I thought our defense was good. Um, of course, Ruben Bain didn't get on the stat sheet like you would hope, but again, he is a force that the other teams have to scheme and game plan for. So you saw a lot of running away from him. You saw a lot of no huddle and going really quick passes or whatever to try to nullify that pass rush. Again, I thought Akeem Mesidor was good, but he got hurt. So again, that takes away part of our defensive front. Regardless, it was a loss. It was frustrating, but it does not take us out of contention for the playoffs. We still have a chance, but we do need to win out, I do believe, because Louisville's got a hand up on us. Georgia Tech is doing great and doesn't play those top teams. SMU, I think, is doing really well. So we need to win out. Our next game is against Stanford. And you would come into this saying, "Well, it's an easy win." We would have circled that as a guaranteed win. But quite honestly, Stanford, the Cardinal just went and beat Florida State. Now, maybe Florida State's just not any good. And as a Miami fan, it brings me great joy to just say that they're probably just not any good. As a matter of fact, it gives me joy to say Florida State is trash. But regardless of how trash Florida State might be, the fact that Stanford was able to beat them gives them some confidence. We have to play well. Um, so I think we will win, but it will not be I don't think it will be a pushover. But I hope that the kids, the boys on the team, they come out and they give us a reaction to the loss. They come out and they put a whooping on Stanford. That will kind of ease some of the pain, calm some of the conversation about whether they're overrated and all this other stuff. They got to come out. They got to smack Stanford and have a convincing win. So hope that they do that. Until then, my Canes have dropped from second in the AP poll down to ninth after that loss. So still in that top 10, but again, we have some work to do and we have very little margin for error the rest of the way. So Let's see what my Canes can do. Last thing I'll talk about is the IU, the Indiana Hoosiers. Indiana, if you know me, you follow me, you've seen me, you've heard me talk, you know that I live in Indiana. So IU is the state school. And they came into this weekend in third place, one spot behind my Canes. And they got a convincing win over Michigan State. I don't even remember what the score was, but a very convincing win over Michigan State. And so they have placed themselves solidly in that number two team in the country spot, one spot behind, of course, Ohio State. Being the number one team in the country. So big ups to IU coach Kurt Signetti because of that win and because of, Penn State's coach being fired and other big coaches being let go. IU did the smart thing. They went out, they extended him again. So I think he's on like $93 million over the next, I think 10 years or something like that. So they have a coach for the foreseeable future. He's got to be able to continue to recruit. I think what he's done right now has been with some of the players that he had at JMU. But you would think if he could recruit at JMU, he's got to be able to recruit at IU as well. More money, bigger profile, bigger uh, stage for those players to play on. And he's shown an ability to coach them up. So big ups to Coach Kurt Signetti. Let me get it out. And IU. If my Canes have to lose, at least IU won. Um, so big ups to them. That is it. I won't take any more of your time. Like I said, I want to get out of here. It's almost 30 minutes on this stream, 29 minutes and some change. And I did not expect that, but I wanted to just again go through this, build this muscle. You will see more of this from me. Maybe I'll change it up, maybe I'll switch it up. I don't know. But you'll continue to see more of these things from me as I continue to push and learn how to really build out this streaming thing on my own. Again, not going anywhere. Still going to be with my fellows, my show bros at Shades of Blue. Still going to be jumping on with Martin on Mancunian Way. Still going to be jumping on with LB on his channel, and pretty much anyone else will have me because I just love talking sports. That's what I do. So big ups to you. If you see this video, do me a favor, like the video, but drop a little comment just so I can know you saw it. Because again, I don't anticipate people seeing this because again, I'm just gonna real quick stream. Most people are already asleep, so or going to sleep, especially those of you in England. It's almost about to be 5 o'clock your time, so don't expect too many people to see this. But if you do, just hit that like button, and more importantly, just leave me a little quick comment. Let me know who you are, so we can connect. Big ups, everybody. Appreciate it, and holla at you later. Peace.